Backlash against Donald Trump supporters on another college campus. According to Campus Reform, national frat and sorority leaders canceling several events planned for Greek Week at Ohio University after students spray-painted messages on a free speech wall, including Trump 2016 and Build a Wall. But several Greek organizations calling that slogan offensive and hurtful. And the school's president in an email to students saying, quote, the words painted were troubling because they had a very different meaning to some than they may have had to others viewing the message, and even to those who painted the message. Very interesting. You know, you look at the picture, and I guess maybe, Andrea, I'm going to turn to your expertise on this one because I know you were the queen of Greek Week. I'm wondering, is this offensive? I mean, the only thing I can say is that when you're talking about Greek Week and the Greek system, that's about inclusion and exclusion. Juxtapose that with a message about build a wall. Does it take on a different meaning, or am I stretching and reaching here?
You're stretching just a little bit. I don't know what they taught you at Harvard, Melissa.
We didn't have Greek system. Yeah.
You know, I would argue that the Greek system can also promote community and can promote unity. And Pi Kappa Alpha, yes, crowned me Greek Week a queen based on a dance routine and some talent competition. So that there's no tape, folks, so don't get excited.
But we do have time in overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, Paris, you always get me on the OT, baby.
I love a good dance.
Okay.
I think this is absurd. I mean, I really do. It's a free speech wall. They should be allowed to spray paint whatever they want. When did Donald Trump's name become a microaggression? It's insanity. I mean, I really think we've lost our mind as a country.
Well, I don't know. You look at the picture. Build a wall. Is that threatening? What do you think, Sandra?
Well, it's the policy of a presidential candidate. I mean, like, so yeah, somebody's taking a stance, but that's free speech. So, Melissa, I was a little confused by the university's actions because they wouldn't name the students involved. They wouldn't punish them. The letter says this wasn't even a form of punishment, but there's no Greek Week and there's no alcohol and there's absolutely no fun. How is this not punishment? Because the letter said we don't want to punish them because they were exercising free speech.
Yeah.
Conflicting.
Well, look, this whole thing is a symptom of intellectual deterioration in our university system. If you're offended by speech, there are three ways you can respond. You can ignore it, you can refute it, or you can repress it. The first two are the hallmarks of free people. The third is the hallmark of authoritarians, and that's what's going on college campuses. I'm sorry you're offended by speech, but the history of free speech is increasing the range of things that people can say. And if you don't like it, then take some other step. Argue with the people. Walk away if you don't like it. But repression is the mark of authoritarian.
All right, so that's got you worked up, Ambassador Bolton. You got to hear this story. Meantime, students at Stanford University, by a 6-to-1 margin, rejecting a plan to restore a Western civilization class requirement. The school eliminated it back in the 80s. Supporters say students should learn about the unique role Western culture has played in shaping our institutions. But an op-ed in the school newspaper says taking such a class would uphold capitalism and colonialism and all other oppressive systems that flow from Western civilizations. This from the same university that has classes like, get this, Ambassador, Sex and Love in Modern Society and Sleep and Dreams. How does this make you feel?
Well, you know, this is part of Western civilization in decline, and the fact that the students have the historical attention span of fruit flies doesn't surprise me. What bothers me is that faculties and administrations in universities accept it. And I think this is the mark of general deterioration, and I pity the next generation because you can't find everything simply by looking on your iPhone and Googling things.
And it's everywhere. It's state colleges, it's Ivy League universities, it's
amen to what you just said, though, because what this wipes away is our ability to deal with people we don't agree with and people that we may not like.
You know, you can actually learn something.
How many of those are we going to meet in a lifetime, right? So if you're not going to learn, they didn't discuss it in either of these situations, even the previous one with Greek Week. It wasn't a discourse or a dialogue. It was, this is going to be what it is. It is repression.
Let me take the other side of this, because I took critical and analytical thinking at Stanford University, and I got an A+. Thank you very much. This
humble bragger.
About going to college.
Name dropper.
It's about learning how to think and criticize and analyze and argue with other people. And I don't think necessarily the substance of what is in the class is what you take away. Because if you asked me, you know, about economics and different things that we studied at college, you forget the detail. What you learn is how to think and how to argue and how to think for yourself and debate.
You've got the last word. Ivy Leaguer, we'll be right back.